Hey there, I'm Eternal, and I'm an object show fan that has barely watched any object shows. We have to fix that. Let's play Object Catchup. Hello and welcome in to Object Catchup, the series where we discuss object show episodes right after watching them, whether they are new or old, famous or unknown, it doesn't matter. We will get to it all. And today, it is finally time to check up on some new fellas shows, some shows from creators I haven't taken a look at before, because yesterday we did daylight savings, and I just decided to update myself on the fellas which we already covered, right? So to see any new episodes from those. But now it's time to introduce myself to some new creators who are dropping new episodes. And I am very excited about some of these because they do look quite interesting. I have no idea how long this episode is going to be. We're just going to do till I can, to be honest, till I can, till I'm feeling like it. It's going to be a matter of motivation here. And we are going to be starting off here, firstly, with a very interesting little episode. It's called Lost Zero. Yeah, it's the 0th episode of a show, which I must say is immensely interesting, which is created by pixelmeteor. But before that, let's just give my quick little shout out to Mikey for creating Object Show Roundup, of course, the series that inspires this whole thing. Thank you to anybody who's watched the video so far. The last 2 episodes, especially the invasion one, ended up being the most viewed. We hit over 60 subscribers and all that stuff, 3,000 total views. It's just cool, these statistics, seeing them go up as I build on it, and it gives the motivation to keep going. But it's time to watch Lost Zero. I don't really know what to expect, but it looks very interesting from the get-go. 3 minutes 44. It is titled Last Delivery. 13,000 views 4 days ago. There's really not much I can introduce here because I just don't know what we're getting into. So let's watch it. Oh my god. Okay, so this is a choose your own adventure. I had no idea. Okay, so we're currently okay. So where am I now? I've just finished watching the video Lost Zero, the one last delivery. Okay, I just finished watching Lost Zero last delivery. So but there's other stuff. Okay, so we start off here. Let's just discuss where we are right now. All right, before we make our decision. I'm gonna try to make my decision. So we have this information between you have this conversation between Cairo, a truck driver who's trying to, I guess, get back to their post, and then Aristiclets, which is the fellow on the phone. They're having a little conversation. Ara's apparently on the post, wants to leave because it's nighttime. However, I'm guessing the delivery driver, Cairo, of course, needs to get back. It's apparently going to take another half hour. All right, it's apparently going to take another half hour. And honestly, I don't really know. They start having a discussion about how the fact that they're on Charo Road. We know that Cairo is Korean, which is interesting. Apparently, what is it called? Cairo Road is wait, is it Cairo Road? Yeah, Cairo Road is apparently known for having a bunch of ghost tales about it, about how a ghost, gets away the cars and stuff, and makes the cars disappears, and then they have a little conversation about how I don't know that'd be real, right? And then eventually we get to see them. However, as the fella Ara starts discussing more about the ghost, like, oh, why would the ghost be haunting the road, right? Then Cairo gets very, I guess, I don't know, maybe worried about it. Maybe they are genuinely scared of ghosts, right? So then they hang up the phone and start talking to the ghost. They go like, if I don't haunt me, have some music, which is a really interesting switch up. In general, I'm gonna say it right here before too much else. To be honest, I'm gonna say that this is animated beautifully. This is animated beautifully. It's got such a style to it. Like, if you look at like the little dots on the box itself, right, and on the truck and everything, like the 3D-ness of it. It does look absolutely stunning. Even just the arm being like the pentagon, like it is absolutely very, very well stylized, and there's so many camera angles that are interesting. So it just looks amazing. The conversation itself, okay, this conversation is weird because I don't know if this might just be me, but this convo sounds like a convo natural, but at the same time sounds like a conversation that would never happen in the way that it's happening. Like the way that they're responding to each other feels both very natural and also very unnatural at the same time. Because like I think the reason is because they're on a phone call. I think that's the reason. Because usually phone calls have this like delay to them, right? Like you say a thing and then you need like 2 seconds before the other fella even receives it and can process and respond. But no, in this case, they're talking on the phone as if they were talking in real life. They're just immediately laughing and stuff, right? So I think that's why maybe it doesn't feel extremely natural, because it doesn't have like that latency that a phone call usually actually has. So the amount of silent time feels way too little when compared to an actual phone call, because they're just like immediately laughing as soon as somebody says a thing, when it's like usually there's this delay, at least with the response from the other end, right? Maybe you can respond immediately because you're not suffering the delay, but from the other side, right? So that's, I think, the thing that's missing from this phone call to make it genuinely authentic, is that little bit of delay to it, the little bit of like transmission time that isn't really being given here. So that's the only thing. But other than that, it looks amazing. It's acted pretty damn well. With this fella that has an accent because Korean and stuff. Then eventually they start maybe sleeping, or at least they start closing their eyes or whatever. And then eventually we get to this new car with this Pop-Tart looking fella. I've tried to figure out what that is. What object even are you, man? What is that? I don't know. Apparently, Honeycake, I really can't wait for our honeymoon. And then they're driving the car, and then we get faced with the decision. The decision. Continue or hold. So, we can continue, presumably continue driving or hold. Because what happens? The car, like, stops itself, right? Or does it? No, it's just driving. So, I don't, What is the best idea here? So, I think my gut feeling is hold. Why is my gut feeling hold? Because I'm worried about that truck. I'm feeling that there could be a car crash here. If we continue and then that truck's going off-road and stuff, right? Then we can continue and then boom, the other truck arrives in on the road lane and then boom, you crash. That's what I'm afraid could happen in a continue scenario, right? So I'm theorizing hold, because hold would allow the car to stay still. It can, I guess, absorb the impact a bit better if there is a crash, but then you could also just leave the car. So I'm thinking hold. And it's the longer video, which I'm not considering into my option, but the longer video usually is the one that is more correct. In Choose Your Own Adventures, usually the longer video is the correct one. But my immediate idea is just that hold. Like, for genuine story reasons, is hold. Because continue, I'm just worried. Like, hold feels like the more... Okay, continue is the more option that they would likely do in universe. But hold feels like the more, from our perspective, the one that we should aim for. Because I'm worried about that truck going off-road or something and causing ruckus to this fella here. Because maybe they're not connected, but they feel pretty connected. So I'm going to pick hold, alright? And then I'm going to come back and I will have watched hold. And I will discuss hold. Alright, so immediate spoiler warning for the video. Okay, alright. Massive spoiler warning okay? Massive spoiler warning. This is hold. I have watched hold just now. And, oh boy, we got a little bit of an ARG to talk about. So, while we do that, I'm just gonna say I was correct. I was absolutely correct. If you continue, you drive into the car crash of the truck because the fella goes to sleep. Absolutely, that's what happened. So the hold means that the guy somehow survived. Just about. What an unbelievable. What a clutch. You know, but like that is crazy. I don't even know what to say. So they eventually survive. Then what happens is they proceed to get out of the car, call somebody. I don't know what they could be calling, but whatever they're calling, they end up looking into the car, which is emitting some type of light from it. Whatever it is, it's emitting some type of light from it, which is just like purplish light. It's like a glitch. And then eventually they look at it and get absolutely either horrified or hypnotized by it, which is immensely interesting. Now, I think the most interesting part of it is this description, man. Like, this description is the one thing that's getting... Okay, well, there's two things on this video that I am suspicious of. It's that there is this thing. It's what does it say? YYM XLBPG up XOMZ QWRWBA. That this is a cipher. Like it's gotta be a cipher. I don't know what it would be. I'm currently looking it up right now. That's why I've maybe been pretty bad, but I currently can't find any type of cipher here that I could solve. It doesn't give me an answer, any of it, to be honest. Any cipher style I'm trying. But there's also one very interesting little word here that is in the middle, because I see that as soon as they show up, as the scene switches, there's this one frame that says Ezabatadutso. So I don't know what that means, but there is something. Maybe what would it even be? Isabata. Because I thought I said established, but no, this is a whole different thing. So that's like makes it way more interesting. But I don't know what it could mean. I really want to try to give this a solve, but I just don't know if I've got the stuff for it. I don't know if I've got the big brainness here. How about, oh God, okay. Give me a moment, all right? I'm going to come back in just a second and I'm going to have given this a little bit of research, okay? Just in case I can find anything. I'm not going to look at comments or anything. I'm just going to just straight up look for it and see if there's any chance that I can get something out of this. Hold on. Actually, scratch that. I'm gonna watch continue next. All right. And then we'll talk about it because there's a different description on that one. So then I can have all the information. Then I can maybe try to work something out. Give me a moment. I'll watch continue now. Spoiler warning yet again for the video that I'm watching here. Okay, get out. This is continue. Okay, so as expected, yeah, they just crash. Just straight up, they just crash. They crash. We don't even get to see the restraints of whatever it is that happened. They're just both gone and dead and whatever. But we have another little set of glitches. So in the video itself, there's gonna be this glitch. It says, I think, code somewhere. Yeah, code somewhere, and then a bunch of gibberish that I think is in reverse or something. There's like a link. Oh, what? That's a link? Oh my god. Okay. And then there is another little thing in the description that is a bunch of numbers. This is like a base something, isn't it usually? It's like a base whatever. But now that I have this information, I just need to try to give it a solve, you know? I need to try here. Like there's not very often that I'm out here like giving it a go, right? So I need to try here, absolutely. And I need to go here. Hexadecimal, no recovery center, buddy. Okay. That's what that description means. Good to know. No recovery center, buddy. Okay. Now this link, all right, I'm gonna need to, I really wish that you could see what I'm doing here, but in the way that I record these, there's absolutely no way I can show this to you. But I'm gonna live here, okay? Imagine I'm taking that frame, I'm flipping it upside down. It's a straw page, okay. So let's go to straw page here for a moment. I'm at PWD with two parentheses, PWD. Or is it just PWD like not without the parentheses? Is that what it is? PWD. Nothing. Go home. What? There is no there's actually nothing in this fucking website. Are we for real? I don't trust this for a second. Really? That's... Wait, is this the... Wait, hold on. Is this because there's... Is this like a straw page default? No, wait, this is a default straw page thing, right? If I just write gibberish. Okay, wait, never mind. So I wrote it wrong. Hold on. Oh, wait, PWD password straw page. Oh. Whoa. Hold on. PWD means password. So you put the password on the straw page. What is this freaking text, bro? It's so freaking bad. This is like the worst thing that you're ever gonna see from me because you're actively unable to see what I'm on about. But I just have to do this, alright? I'm trying to figure this out live as an audio file. There is this number here that I cannot read for the life of me. I'm really trying here. Hold on. Can I maybe... Yeah, increase the black, lower the brightness. 9. Hold on. Is this... No, wait. This has got to be in reverse. Hold on. 6 F... Is that an E? 66 F206. Hold on. I'm so sorry. 6 E6 F206. I think. F6 E65? Mate, this is another freaking the hexadecimal, no? 206 F6 E65. This has got to be another hexadecimal. Hold on. So let me see. Is this another hexadecimal? Cause that's what I'm thinking. No one. Is hexadecimal for no one? What? For no one? What the hell? I don't see anything else in this video. Like, it's just that one frame that's so mega glitchy. Maybe there could be something appearing, like, mysteriously somewhere, but how would I ever see it? Because this video is so dark that you just wouldn't be capable of seeing anything. Like, if it appears, I just wouldn't be able to see it. You know, like, my eyes are not that good, and I'm not about to pick up this video and put it in a video editor. Like, this video, it either is or it isn't. You know? There is this thing called 420, I think. Code somewhere. You're not... I'm not gonna get defeated here. I think I try to not get defeated. Died. Yeah, okay, so they died. That makes sense. Just to... I'm trying to... I'm analyzing, like, the impact frames here. Code somewhere. Okay. What is that word? What is that word that mattered? Hold on, that word that was important. Esabatso. Is that what it is? Is that the word? Is that the password? Maybe, because that's a word that would fit on a straw page link. Is bata ditso. No. That's not what it is. Okay. The main thing that's just wrong here is that I don't know what's going on in the hold video. Basically, the hold video is the one that's the thing. Because I've been trying to figure out what the... Because the code just isn't anything. It just is so... It's like there's so nothing there. Right? That it just absolutely... There's nothing here, dude. There's nothing here. What am I gonna do? Oh my god. That's just the thing that's got me lost, because how do I connect this code? You know, that's like the thing here. Yeah, no, don't see any codes. There's this 270 on this guy's car that gets me to almost think that that could be a password, maybe. That could be a like, hold on. Can I put this again? Because I know like key 270 or something. I don't know what that would be. I don't know what that would mean, but 270. No, I don't know. Genuinely, that's just the thing that's got me lost here. Because I absolutely cannot figure out what the hold video's got going on here. Because the main video, sure, but the hold video, it's just nothing. You know? Like, there's no hexadecimal, there's no anything. Like, code is it somewhere here? Is it somewhere in the other video? Is it could like no? Is no one? There's no way it's no one at .strawpage.com. Is that a real thing? I mean, there is a straw page no one, but this is just a deep right. This is nothing. Surely. Yeah, this can't be a thing. So that's not anything. Hmm. The code itself doesn't actually change. I'm not gonna lie. Code somewhere. I might have to give up, and that sucks if I do. It's right here, but it just says no one. Or do I have to put this on there? Like, do I have to put the hexadecimal itself on the name? Like, do I have to put like 6E6, like 6E6, like, you know, like the thing that I wrote? Like, is that the password? No, it's not. So that doesn't give me a lot of confidence. No recovery center, buddy. I don't... What could this possibly be? It's just that hold video. That hold video. I'm upset. I'm upset, boys. I need to find it. I need to know. I can't be a failed research. I can't be here for 10 minutes and then just end up with the result that is nothing. You know, I'm getting sunk cost fallacy to the extreme here. You know, like bro, please. I'm just not. There's no way. Because the fact that it's in hexadecimal gives me the vibe that it's not actually that hard. You know, like it wouldn't be something that dumb, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you. However, I cannot figure out for the life of me because if I put freaking whatever the fucking word is called, freaking what the hell are you? Esobatadso. Like isn't doesn't seem to give me any clues here. So I really don't know. Hmm. Or do I have to put that as a thing? Like maybe. Could it be an anagram? Like any potential anagram would be something interesting because it could be an anagram, I guess. The one in the description absolutely could not be an anagram. Like that just wouldn't make any sense. There's so many Z's and Y's that it just wouldn't make any sense. Wait, hold on. Esabatso LOS database. Wait a minute. Oh, Esabatad. Oh wait, that's database backwards. Lost database? Because that could be a straw page link. Hold on. Or would it be Sol database? Because Sol is son. No. Neither. Wait. So neither was a straw page links. Hold on. Lost database. Okay, lost database. We got that. Could I maybe use that as the key for this fucking cipher? I'm trying to think. Is there absolutely any chance that we could have something here? Lost data salt? Gotta be. There's no way. If it's database backwards, it just has to be something. Oh, man. But the thing is that I just don't know. Oh, God. It so has to be. Sol database. Can you do multiple words in a straw page? Nothing about it. I have no idea. Genuinely, I've got proper no clue right now. If you can even do that. Cause I've been trying to figure that out. No, I've not been trying to figure that out. But like I've been looking into it and I absolutely got no clue. Oh, God. This is gibberish. What the hell is going on in this description, man? Like cipher solver or whatever. I'm trying to see if there's anything, but no, it doesn't. There isn't. Hmm. The Sol database. 270. They use call 911, right? Yes. Okay, they just call 911. They don't do anything weird there. Is there anything? It's 1:01 a.m. That picture is just a cute little picture. That's adorable. But Sol database. So we have Sol database. We have no one. Then we know that there's a straw page link, and the password is the word. Lost database. Like LOS? I mean, I could just put LOS, but I don't. There's no. This is just a person. Oh, thank you, little person, do exist. All right. Well, no, that's just a person that actually exists who has the LOS shop page. So no, they don't. I'm not gonna bother them. Um, I'm wondering if the thing about the cipher would be that it could maybe be in another language. Is what I'm potentially having a situation with. To be honest, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Hmm. Okay. The fact that it's backwards is lost database absolutely means something. There's no way that this text in the description can be, because it just it ends with a question mark. Like, it ends with a question mark. It's gotta be something. You know, because if you reverse that, you would have the question mark at the beginning, which wouldn't really make much sense, to be honest. Man. Why would you put a fucking hexadecimal there that says no one? No one? What if it's lost database? Because LOS database, and then there's no one there, so it's lost. Wait, there actually is a web page. It just says no signal. But I can click it. Wait a minute. Boxes document. Wait, did I just find it? Did I just YOLO this? Oh my god. Oh my freaking god. What? Boxes doc. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. It's the lost database. What the hell? What the hell? Hold on a bloody minute. What? This is insane. This is insane. Okay, give me a moment. I'm gonna sort a way to record my screen, and then we'll come back with the crazy whatever the hell I'm doing. Alright? I'll come back. Give me a moment. Hello. This is very unorthodox, but so I have currently gone here. I have this thing just in case it can find anything for here. But we got here lost database, no signal, and then this button gets me to this page. The reason why I'm thinking is because box is document, and like box like just has to be something. Yeah, Cairo, like this is it. I have the audio off. I don't know if it's like, does this have sound effects? It doesn't seem like it does. Lost code. I don't know if this is anything. It probably is, but like boss document, game nothing, items 1 seek cushion. That's spelled wrong. Secretly smart. A whimsical guy said he'd work as a car driver in that place. I wonder why he worked there. 1989. Like, I'm just analyzing. I genuinely just have no idea what I'm looking at right now. ARG mechanic. I'm opening these text files first. October 20th, 2013. Hello, my name is Blank. I discovered this computer which was disable for and also looks odd. Hey, for anyone who discovered this computer, this is a confiscated item that was found in blank. Was sent to me, so I gave it to you. Blank to examine this piece of technology. I used the breaker lock, a tool used for bypassing this lock, and I have permission to use this computer because I suspect of this having something to do with materials having anomalistic properties. But I heavily recommend you not to disclose. There's something weird with this. Before we remove the breaker lock of this computer, this evidence may help you into finding your case. Update. This is blank. And actually, you're definitely correct about this. This isn't an ordinary computer, but actually code that seems unusual. Okay, so this computer is confiscated in the blank station. Things to check out as an unauthorized blank. There's more things to come because this is the special computer that has or maybe some evidence that can help us. November 1st. Hi, I'm blank, and I previously checked this computer, and afterwards I have to leave a note here just in case the computer feels blank. Not because the code is blank, but the code is actually logged because there's no bandwidth to reach and it's slow. There seems of blank, so if anything on this computer happens, I can check back and see the logs. I made a script hidden in this computer that creates logs, and I said my friend who has knowledge of this. Well, for now, I have one thing to leave here. Most important file, system configuration is overlocked behind blank. Some notes or evidence in this can be accessed. Very slow, but changes may be updated. Okay, see, I'll check this out soon. I don't know. Everything is a fucking blank. Oh my god. What? I can't click any of these tags just to make sure. I mean, it's a straw page. For a straw page, this is unbelievably impressive. I used to breaker. This isn't a. The breaker lock isn't a real thing, right? Okay. Confiscate and free to chats is unauthorized, but there's more things. We just don't know what any of this is because we just don't. Well, I have no idea what the words could possibly even be. Like Cairo, maybe could be some. No, but none of these words are even 5 letters. So Cairo couldn't. Like Cairo's not the person here because this is a 6-letter person, right? So there's no way that it would be that it would be you, right? Because your name, yes, Cairo Gion, which none of those words are, you know. So that's something. Credits? Is it just the real credits? Thanks for testing. Good luck ARG hunting. This stuff can be updated every lost teasers or episodes happen. Yeah, it is possible that the ARG isn't done. Which would make sense. This should be locked. Access denied. Error ID. You just know this is something. I'm sorry, but error have to wait. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to fucking check what this says. Doc daily note. Okay. 000 dot template. Okay. You gotta check everything. Hold on, I didn't actually. Things to do: sleep, eat, drink, code, repeat, and don't forget a coffee break before works is a charm because it kept us alive. Okay. Contestants. Boxes document. Yeah, that's that again. Lost code to. What is this? Like, there's so many things here. There's no way I can check all of this stuff, dude. Handbags document. Who are you? Luke, this is a different lost code. Okay. Name Luke Fun, code birth of year 1989, small bag, Filipino Japanese, Bengue Philippines, Clovier. To whom I could invite is I just checked box pass and I think they would be best friend. If I add this pal here, boss would be happy if he is here. Or I'm just running out of ideas, so I added him. What? Huh? This is not a sentence that makes sense. Wait, what? That is not English. What in the to whom I could invite is I. What? Finley would be best friend if I had this power here. Boss would be happy if he is here. Who? Why? If he is where? Where are you? What in the world? This is a file. Okay, whatever. This is blocked. Require the code input. Enter the code on the link. Oh, wait for future updates. So I think this is impossible. Oh, okay. So like this number, and I put it in. Okay, I see it. But we just don't know who these people are yet. Like wait for future updates. So presumably there just isn't a code yet. Okay. But did this thing end up doing anything? Nice trying. It is not succeeding. Loading. Okay, there's more. Bro, look how many things. Okay, so we hit the desktop. Okay, we just go back to the desktop. Code VHS. Access denied. Okay, the same error. Where's it gonna send me back to? C. Desktop contestant loading pictures. Pictures. Sure. Coming soon. Okay, so nothing here yet. Pictures have not been added yet. Is that the same as gallery? Yeah, okay. So that's happening. Contestant code box 64. Not allowed. Alright. Console command. Not allowed. Neighborhood network. Not allowed. I don't know if this is like an actual thing that I could ever fix, but I doubt it. I doubt I could like solve it or whatever. Get allowed, right? Because I understand that this error ID probably could mean something. I just don't know what the hell it would possibly mean. Can't write here. Can't write anything. Yeah, I'm just not allowed any of that. SMS. Riley Glass. A very good advice. Oh, sure. Just good luck there, my blank. Yeah. Just enjoy that vacation there. Then Jesse Stamps. Jesse. Okay, it doesn't work. I hope you received this message. I have no idea what these blanks could even be. They're so long. Like they're genuinely really long words. Email? No mails today. Come back soon. Alright. Setting? Oh, these are the things that I'm not allowed to use, right? Control panel, no. Recycle bin, no. Why would you not be allowed to look at the recycle bin? Like, bro? Do I want to look at these yet? I don't know what it to look like. Error have to wait. Oh, you can just check here, bro, at the bottom left, what stuff works. So that just gets me back here. Web browser, file explorer, mail manager, yeah. Error have to wait for like all of these, right? Map creator, yeah, okay. Console, yep. I'll have to use Roblox. No, Roblox Studio is gone. Camera, yeah, okay, none of that works. Then there's the web station. There's no internet. Wi-Fi not on. Please connect the. What could that even be? Like, there's no word. Like, what? Wi-Fi not found. Yeah, presumably. And then there's unknown. I mean, do I want to click it? I'm scared of a jump scare. Turning off the audio. Okay, quadruple error. Like a glitchy error, but nothing happens. So that's everything that we know. Okay, so that's everything that we know. And now what? Now what? This is so slow. This is like the slowest thing I've ever used. I still have genuinely no idea what this could even remotely be. Like this text, I've completely lost on it. Like I've just not figured it out one bit. Nothing seems to work for it, which is the thing that's weird. So like, is that when I'm logged out? It doesn't even update. Oh, it's probably that. That's why I need to have like an open do anything. Okay. Is there anything I can do in those places? The only thing that the thing is giving me as an option is that it is maybe. It's just like possibly. Yeah, there's a lot of words that it could be. Maybe the idea that it could be like something. ARG mechanic. Is there any way that I could possibly do anything here? Or am I gonna give up? Is the question. Do I have any idea at all? I don't, man. I don't. I do not fucking. This stuff's just blank. Our others are locked behind what password? That would even mean? Like others are locked behind password, right? No, but not password. It's not password. This computer feels what 8-letter word would fit there, dude? Not because the code is it's a fucking what code is that? I don't know. There's no knowledge. There's absolutely no knowledge. There's nothing here. Whatever it is. I mean, I could fucking use this. Hold on. Let me just in case. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab this freaking cipher solver. Where's the cipher solver? I think I closed the cipher solver. Let me open it. Hold on. Wait. Give me a second. Okay, I opened the cipher solver. You see, this is what I use because it just does everything I want. So if there's anything here, it could maybe give me an idea. But usually it doesn't seem like there's anything that's gonna be here. Like that says bit, but not much else. Um, ton. Yeah, this just strikes me as a whole bunch of nothing. No. Okay. Could you be a code? Again, I'm trying to think of like keys because again, I'm lost on this. What is this, dude? Like, what does it even mean? Like, maybe it's irrelevant, but like, you have to exist. Like, you have to have an answer, right? Surely. There's no way that it just isn't anything. But like, it's nothing. You see, like, it is nothing. What is this flippin' text? This text is illegal. This is like it is like an evil text. I'm so unbelievably lost. Nah. Like, so other than that code, which I don't think is gonna do much. Yeah, it's just a number. It's just this thing. Like it says here that wait for future updates. Apparently. So I'm gonna trust that there isn't something I can already do here. I don't think that there's a number I can find. I don't think there's much else I can find. It's episode 0, right? So theoretically there's more lore to the story. So I don't think that this is anything yet. I guess I didn't check if there's anything else to click on this page. Just for curiosity, right? Hold on. So like the thing that you can click, which is this thing. There's not anything else, right? I'm trying to check here. Because if there'd be something else, then you never know. That says no signal. That's just the image. Shop page logo. The content. It's okay, this is the only button on the screen. So I think that's all. I believe that would be all. Um, it's maybe a little bit disappointing I haven't found too much, but I'm gonna look. I'm leaving this as a crumb, you know. If y'all want to go try to find it, maybe like brute force these codes or whatever, or do anything that you could possibly want, then you can. I personally can't find anything, which gives me the idea that there just maybe isn't anything there. But I don't know. Maybe coming soon. You see, like, there's a lot of stuff that just isn't here yet. So I'm ideating that you're gonna need episode 1 or something. But I'm really happy that I just found it. I'm really happy that I found this. I'm really sad that I didn't flipping solve this one text. What the hell are you? Fuck's sake. But we really need to get moving, dude. What, like, how long have I spent on this? I don't. Whatever, dude. Go back to the audio. Okay, I'm back from recording self. I just wanted to pop in my final little idea of what's happening. So I think what happened in the car crash, or in the non-car crash, whatever it is, they're both actually the same situation, is that probably the box was a delivery driver from some sort of weird organization, and this weird organization seemed to be delivering nuclear whatever, some radioactive whatever nuclear experiment something. So that's why when it crashes the boxes flood open, right, and all that stuff. The crash, I don't know, maybe it's because of the ghost, maybe it is haunted, right? So then that's why when the fella looks over, they see this whatever it is, this beam of purple. I'm presuming it's some sort of nuclear radioactive thing because of the computer. So that's what I'm thinking is going on so far in this story. But I don't know. As you can tell, I'm hilariously invested in this. But we got to talk about other object shows as well in life. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, like that was insane. Let's move on. All right, so the next thing that we're going to be taking a look at is object copiedness, which had an episode 1 released by by TaxeAndStuff, or that's actually a good question. I don't know how to say that name. I'm so sorry. But before that, we need to watch it, the most copied object show of all time, which had 4 episodes released quite a long time ago. But they're all relatively short, so I decided to do that. I'm currently dodging shows that need a prior season to watch because I want to try to compile those in one video. But so far, well, I'll do an exception here. Most copied show of all time, episode 1, called Originality is Hard. All right. All right, that is episode 1 of the most copied object show of all time. So, hold on. So this is the most copied object show. What does that mean? So that means that it is like, is it the show that most other shows are copying? I guess is what it would mean. So the object shows are copying this show. Okay, because for a minute I thought this was the most copying object show of all time, which means that this object show was copying the other object show. But no, that means the other object show are copying this show because it's just so good. Okay, I understand. So here we got our cast of 3 fellas, which is a really short cast, but you know what, fair enough. You got a plant pop fella, no legs, and Hydro Flask, which is just a PNG, is not an asset, and a blue bow tie. And a host, which is screaming. They fight for $1 million, which I must say is, yeah, that's pretty generic. If it was supposed to copy an object show, yeah, I know many object shows have gone the idea of, yo, you win money, right? You want money? You want money? You want money? So that makes sense. Then we got the intro, which fair enough, it's an intro. The challenge is to jump. The part says that they can't jump. To be fair, I mean, if they just like did like a handstand, I guess, and like, you know, poop, let go, like push themselves above a little bit with their arms, I think they would be able to do like something that would count as a hop, right? So I won't say that this guy can't jump, to be honest. I think is a little bean. But then the Hydro Flask does successfully jump, but the Blue Bowie doesn't even do anything. I guess they're just protesting. They seem to be angry all the time. They're like the mean character. They're protesting against the show. They don't even do the challenge. You know what? Fair enough. I appreciate standing up for your values. Who's getting eliminated? Probably the pot because they can't do the challenge. I don't know. Let's go to episode 2. Let's watch it. I've just watched episode 2, the challenge of. I must say, I don't. My ears did not like that. My ears did not like the experience that they just had. It felt like kind of. I did feel like somebody was breathing into my ear literally the entire time. Oh my god, that is like my microphone isn't bad. Isn't that good? I'm not like this. Might have that have right here. It's honestly just not that good. But like sometimes I look at some others, like I understand it's a joke and it's for a joke, but like it just I'm so thankful that it doesn't do that, because like the way that it just takes in the breaths, and especially like no, the problem is that how it takes in the exhales. Like the microphone that takes in the exhales is absolutely a painful to listen to, right? And even if, of course, that's the point, that I don't mind it. It is still a detail, but yeah, that is just so. This looks like a one take, bro. There's no way that there was a script for this. I refuse to believe somebody wrote this. All right, Tax, please tell me that this was one take. Like, there's no way you wrote, we didn't do the elimination, the elimination, we didn't do the elimination, you didn't do the elimination. Like, there's no way. Please don't tell me you wrote that in 1 million times. Your challenge is to Joe Mom. Like, it's just, whatever. Then the plant pot tries a Joe Mama joke. It doesn't even work. They end up both up for elimination anyway. So that was pretty useless. I gotta say that randomly, because you know what I was gonna do? I was gonna praise this episode for a moment because I find it interesting how there is an in-shot watermark that gets perfectly hidden because it's on the white backdrop. And I thought, yo, that's cool. But then it turns out that randomly in the middle of this episode, it switches to Kindmaster. What happened to the other? What did you switch editing programs halfway through? How did you stitch it together? But so the Kindmaster watermark still shows up though, unfortunately. So I have to take the props back away, which is unfortunate, but whatever. Most copied object show of all time 3. The next episode, let's go. That is the greatest cliffhanger I've ever seen. So that is episode 3 of the most copied object show of all time. Yet again, I refuse to believe that this took more than one take because, like, there's no way that this is written. Like, they say, and I quote, most copied object show of all time is officially cancelled. I'm so sad, and this was a great show, but it's cancelled because it's cancelled. What? There's no way. There's no way you write that. Like, oh, what? Anyways, in the middle of their speech about how it's speech in quotation mark, they end up slowly, this meteor or whatever ends up falling on them, and then boom, fade to black, episode over. And that's pretty interesting, because I just thought that was the microphone being bad again. Because whether it's a meteor falling, I can't tell, because there's just constant exhaling noises going on in the microphone. I don't really know, but I'm sure that it was a pretty crazy looking boulder wind sound, because it was falling, right? So I thought it was like a car. But yeah, it's something. It is something. There's really not much to say about this episode. I mean, they don't even do anything. What do I think it's gonna be? Genuinely, I don't know. It's like, it's a joke object show. Like, it could be freaking the return of the freaking Bowie the Bow or whatever. Like, it could be, oh, haha, I returned. I'm actually alien. Like, like, this is the type of thing that these shows do. So I'm gonna let it do its thing, and I'm gonna talk about the episode 4, which is titled "Will Be Awesome." It released like 2 years later. Okay, let's go. Okay, so that is the most copied object of all time 4. Which is it's not a finale. It is a finale, but it's not a finale. It's an anti-finale. I don't even know what it is. What did I just watch? But basically, you can see that the fact that it's been 2 years, because first of all, there's a microphone that you can hear. I can listen to the microphone without it sounding like there's a freaking leaf blower. Yes, let's go. So we end up here. It turns out that the evil fade to black wasn't even anything. Like, they just pull it back down. There's some interesting little animations going on. Like, I could see some potential from here because of the way that certain face expressions are, and like, for example, when chocolate milk comes over, you see the lines. That there's some interesting animational qualities here that I enjoy. Which does give me potential, the possibility of having this serious show, because apparently Object Copiedness seems to be a serious show. I don't know. It seems to be a show with like stuff in it. right? So that's something. But then we had some other characters that all played in chocolate milk. Does it? I am Steve. Was that meme even out then? I think it was. Then I don't even know you're like a mass fella. 8 balls here because you need to have an 8 ball in every object show. Um, and then eventually, yeah, they do a reboot, which apparently there's going to be a reboot. There doesn't proceed to be an episode for like a year, which I don't know. Is Object Copiedness the reboot? Look, I'm looking at the playlist. Okay, I'm trusting the playlist here created by TaxeAndStuff because it's called like it's these 4 videos and then it's Object Copiedness. So if there was a reboot, it's non-canon. I'm not gonna watch it. All right? Does that sound good with you? Okay, so I'm presuming that this is the cast is gonna be heading towards Object Copiedness. I don't really know anything to expect because honestly, we know so little about these characters, right? Because they appear for like they've had 3 in this entire show. They've had 3 lines, so I'll hope for the best heading into Object Happiness. We got a little bit of backstory. Now it's time to proper watch. Well, that is an immensely interesting little thing I watched. So I just finished watching Object Happiness 1, Dead on Arrival. So immediate thing, this looks way better, obviously. But the assets just generally just look pretty damn good. Um, I'm a big fan of the asset for Bowie. Bowie's asset just looks really good. Then like the other fellas, they look alright. They look clean, basically. Flask as well looks very clean. And just in general, animation quality is also relatively high, even though we are kind of BFP inspired in just a lot of the way that it is, the meme of the intro, the way that, for example, the challenge gets explained. Like we are a little bit doing a BFP inspired type thing, but in general, it's pretty high quality, right? Like it's solid. It's solid. Um, the thing that I appreciate the most is just there's so much like there's so many like little details in the animation, which I appreciate a lot when I see like some of these like tiny little things that don't really matter that much, but they but they're cool. Like for example, how in the intro of the show, like Flask pulls down the black screen in a way because it's kind of cool, especially if you consider it as a throwback to how like the freaking Screeny does the same thing, right? In the last episode of the Most Copied Show. Like it's just cool how these little details happen and in the way that they eventually switch up. Or for example, the scene when they're up for elimination is all the sad faces, and then we flick back to the shot of all of them with the sad faces, right? Like it's just cool. It is just cool. Um, there's some smart little animation things going on. So we have our contestants, which I'm pretty sure are all the same as the ones that were introduced last year in the episode of Most Copied Object Show of all time. We get to see all the fellas. And then our challenge ends up being no, it ends up being because A-Ball randomly dies. A-Ball dies. It's just dead. Mysteriously. And then everybody else needs to figure out who did it. Because we don't know. And because apparently there's no recovery center because of budget cuts. Alright, so that's interesting. That's another BFDI, of course, little joke. Honestly, I like Flask's reasoning here. Flask has some pretty damn good reasoning. So we have budget cuts, so we don't have a recovery center, but everybody got new assets, and there's a whole background, which actually looks really pretty, by the way. I mean, again, it's very teapot, but like, it looks pretty, especially the background, because it's nighttime. It's like purple. That looks incredible. But like, I agree with the reason. I was believing it. I was believing it, dude. Because Scrinny kind of wasn't defending it too well. I can't lie. Like, Flash was low key kind of gaming with that logic. It's a bit of a meta knowledge, but it was very, 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 very something. But eventually, Drama Mask ends up suspecting Chocolate Milk because Chocolate Milk was just suspecting everybody. So, yeah, to be honest. Which it makes sense. Chocolate Milk was like, it's a sort of like, they're like the ego tough. They're the tough guy character, They're the tough guy character who tries to be tough. And eventually, it does turn out that they are the killer, according to a mystery forensics expert. Um, and then eventually, that means that who is safe? So 2 people are safe. Wait, right? Drama Mask is safe because they called it out. Wait, somebody else safe? Am I just completely forgetting a contestant? Wait, how many contestants are there in this show? I don't know. I like Bowie in these episodes, by the way. To be honest, Bowie in this episode was pretty cool. Wait, who else is safe? Wait a minute, am I weird? Oh, wait, Bowie is up for Elam. Plant Pot is not up for it. Why is Plant Pot not up for elimination? Wait, what did he do? Um, what did Plant Pot do? Oh, wait, Plant Pot believed it. Oh, okay. So Plant Pot, well, like, agreed. Okay, I see. I was confused about that. But yeah, I mean, it's a well-animated show. I like the gags in it. Like with the whole playing the air horn twice when Bowie has to stop. There's an interesting little like combo personalities going on with these characters because like Bowie's like rude but not mean, so that's interesting. Flask is more I wouldn't say the analytical character, but they're sort of the more they're a cool character. I like them. The Chocolate Mill being the more evil character might get eliminated. I don't know to be honest. And then 8 Ball, which it's just 8 Ball. I have no idea if 8 Ball or Chocolate Milk get eliminated here. I would predict Chocolate Milk because Chocolate Milk, of course, was the one who literally did a murder. But people don't usually like contestants that are unoriginal, so maybe they would eliminate 8 Ball. I'm not sure. There's a non-zero chance, basically, is what I'm saying. Music for this show was also really interesting, at least the choices for it. I saw that there was a Kevin MacLeod remix, and I think a custom voting song, which was very good, that custom voting song, absolutely. So, yeah, honestly, I am very very much so interested in this. There's not too much to say, I guess, on like the specifics because it's a little 5-minute thing, right? But it was a fun watch. I enjoyed it. Like, if I would be to watch this episode 1 and go, oh, am I interested in continuing? I would say yes. Basically, like I would be interested in continuing. I think a good introduction to the show. You get to see the characters, they do jokes, you get to see how they interact with each other. There's an interesting contestant host dynamic where like the host doesn't necessarily overpower the contestants in the same way that in a lot of in the same way that in a lot of object shows the host overpowers the contestants, like 4 from BFB, for example, right? Like they just overpower the contestants because they're overpowered, right? So you can't do anything against them. Screening is an interesting little dynamic because the contestants can actively rebuttal against screening in a way, which is it's pretty interesting. It does create a little bit of a more different dynamic. I am a fan, and I will be taking a look at more for sure here. But yeah, yeah, that's all I got to say currently about Object Copying this one. It was good. It was mainly I like the animation of it, but the writing was also pretty good. Character voices are pretty solid, and everything is solid. Like this is solid. I maybe it doesn't excel at anything, but it just got a lot of solidity in every area that an object should need solidity in. So it does well. Good job. Keep it up. All right, the next object show that we are going to be taking a look at is called Balls. Yes, that's what the name of it. It is curated by BludIsAnGrape, which is a fellow YouTube creator with 74 subscribers. We're taking a look at what Ball Season 1. It has 6 episodes. And episode 5, which is the 6th episode, released a couple of days ago, so that must mean that we must take a look at it starting from episode 1, called What? Why are you looking at me like that? Let's go. Well, that is one of the fastest episodes I've ever seen. So we get, yeah, I mean that's about as fast as you can realistically go. Like it's very hard to go any faster than 14 seconds. And I watched the 20-second object show. Like it tries to go fast, but it somehow goes faster at 14 seconds. So we got the 2 teams, Team Balls and Team Balls. They're all the same asset roughly, except for yellow, which doesn't have an eye. All of them are 2 teams, basically with all different colors. The challenge is to die. Some of them flip over, which I guess means dying, legally speaking. Which means that Team Balls is up for elimination. So we got yellow, orange, blue, and cyan, or like I guess that's like a green. But yeah, for elimination, very random letter colors, but okay. I think they're swapped. No? Wait, they're swapped. Wait, because it's yellow, orange, cyan, and lime. No? But it's freaking yellow, orange, lime, and cyan. It's calling blue lime, and it's calling lime cyan. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. I mean, this voting is just which color the people like the least. I don't know what color people like. I'm gonna say yellow because they don't have an eye. I don't flipping know. Let's go next. Okay, I just watched Balls too. Orange plus purple making a purple orange. So, um, I can't lie, right? There's, I kind of like this host's voice. I don't know what it is about it. It has this like goofy sound to it. Well, just having like the silliness of the asset just being like nearly a constant, just like smile. It looks like there's no thoughts in bro's brain. Like, I don't know why, it just looks goofy. But anyways, the prize is pencils. So orange is safe for 1 vote, yellow is safe for 2 votes, and then the other characters, which is cyan and light blue. No, there is absolute. I refuse. That is not what light blue looks like. That is not light blue. No, it is. It is not. That is incorrect. You can call it turquoise if you want, but like it is not light blue. That is not I incorrect name. I no. Okay. I don't want to hear it. It's not light blue. That is fake. A fake name. Incorrect misinformation. All right. Anyway, they eventually have to tie break using a marble race, which is a fun little idea. The thing about marble races is usually I think that they become interesting when there's a lot of marble, right? Because then they sort of confuse each other and block each other. Because in this marble race ends up really freaking pointless. Because what happens is they just take the exact same amount of time to do anything, but the light blue ball eventually fell faster at the beginning, had more knockback, so just ends up coasting through the entire rest of the course. While the light blue, no, while the cyan ball just completely fails. So goodbye, cyan ball. Cyan is my favorite color, so I don't think it didn't go well for my favorite color here. Apparently, the purple orange on the other side of the world. So for some reason, light blue decide that they want to not follow the map that yellow got them and say go to the other side of the world. Meanwhile, purple comes in and just finds it. I guess they might have just had one at home. That's all purple balls happen to have purple things at home, right? So they just had one. For some reason, the host didn't notice them. I guess they were standing too far away. You know when you like go out to talk to an NPC in a video game, but if you're like 2 feet away, doesn't work. You got to be 1 feet away. Yeah, it's basically like that. So then they decide yellow just steals it and gives it, and that means that they're safe, which means that Team Ball is up for elimination. The different one featuring purple, which fell over on the floor, M, magenta, presumably, G for green, and B for blue. Who is getting eliminated? Dude, I don't know. Yet again, it's the same thing. The only character you can maybe vote as purple for having tried the challenge, but even then I wouldn't really do that. Maybe I'd eliminate green because they seem to be relaxing here on the voting screen, but I don't. I don't know, to be honest. There's no way I could really tell you. Let's go to Balls 3 called Mountain Downtain. Alright. You can't. I don't. Is anyone else here with me? Like, how doesn't this show just evoke a silly vibe to it? Like, the way this show just is silly. Because the way that, like, every character just. Their idle pose is the same freaking smile. Or they say such goofy things, like the way they say "yay," like it's just this show just evokes silly in a way that I haven't seen it. And it's crazy. The fact that every character just a differently colored ball actually works because you only have one voice actor, but with the same voice. But the voice actor just works for every character because they're all the same thing. Right? So it's like it makes sense. They don't need different voices because they're all just ball. Like it's like the It's so goofy. Well, all right. So the elimination ends up being that blue gets out. Because I don't know, they're just bad. I guess people just don't like blue. Whatever voted there, they just don't like blue. They voted out the light blue. They voted out the cyan. Like it's wait, I don't know who's still in the game. Is it cyan or light blue? I think that's cyan. I don't freaking cyan. That's not it. This is freaking lime. But no, it's not lime. It's like it is turquoise. Like it's turquoise. No, whatever. But either way. The challenge is to get top of the mountain and the team with the purple fella and the orange fella. By just not beefing, not having drama, not doing any of that jazz, they get to the top with the happy flag and they end up being safe. So that team just shows it out and wins. Of course, the team with the green fella ends up being up for eating because they don't even get up because, Magenta's trying to, or wait, no, pink, not magenta. Different character. Ends up getting there because they can't do much when green just doesn't do anything. Although I guess he could have tried the carrying strategy that yellow tried. However, it didn't work for yellow. That was mostly because there was a fight back. I don't think green would have fought back, so maybe it could have worked. I don't really know. Then we have a debut between Shitty Ball and White Ball. Who would I pick? Probably Shitty Ball because this is a different type of design. The White Ball just says meh, so we would just have another character that's like, kind of like that green ball fella. So I don't think it would really help out that much. I'll be interested to see if green does actually get out because there is this little thing called trolling that people like to do. Because there's this thing where when viewers are told to vote a thing, now their brain is like, oh shit, they want me to do that. I want to do the opposite. Right? So I wouldn't be surprised if Ping gets out here. I'm not gonna lie. Because there's very clear who the host wants to do, and there's this trolling instinct within us to do the opposite of what we're supposed to do. So I have to see Pink honestly getting out here. I'm gonna have to join us. I'm predicting Shitty Ball. All right, let's hit it in balls for Cannibalism is overhated TBH. Don't clip that. Don't clip. That's just the name of the episode. I just watched Balls 4 and where did my voice acting go? No. This silly voice that was good and worked surprisingly well for all of the balls. Where did it go? No. Now we get announcer text to speech for every character. It doesn't hit the same. It doesn't give off vibes of ball. I don't know what vibes of balls is, but it had it and now it doesn't have it anymore. Where did it go? This we have to riot on the streets, No, I'm joking. Um. Anyways, my gambit of predicting Pink to get out absolutely doesn't. I'm incorrect. The viewers did not overthink this elimination at all. Like I said, they were gonna. Fair enough. This is a show called Balls. And Pink stays. Green gets out. Goodbye, Green. And then Shitty Ball gets in. Also expected. To be fair, that one makes perfect sense. They're just more interesting design-wise because they're the only character that doesn't use the same design. One of the things about this episode, it has captions. Captions for this episode are cool. Look, maybe we don't have the silly voice acting. At least we have silly captions. Alright? To help. Silly subtitles. Because that's cool. I like how they're written. They're like cool. Like when they say thanks guys, it's THX, or like the double dots, which isn't even a thing, or like the double question mark. Like I like how how they're written. Apparently it's an acid yellow ball, which I didn't know about, and the cyan ball, not cyan, but like the light blue was cyan. Okay, like there's a misconception here, I think. I'd say personally. All right. But oh well. Purple chocolate muffins end up being pretty good, but they just feed cyan ball to acid no, to the red ball, and they end up winning 10 out of 10. You know what? Maybe it's just the taste of release. It's just the taste of getting rid of that guy which everybody finds annoying. That like smell of yes, they're not there anymore. Like that's the real smell. So maybe that has been condensed in food form, right? That's what I'm gonna predict. That's what I'm gonna say happened. Because I don't know that. Yeah, cannibalism. Purple Ball is honestly the absolute good of the show. They just do things. Like they just are pretty damn good at challenges. They're pretty solid and everything. Like they're just pretty good. So I wouldn't eliminate them. I'd probably eliminate Orange. I'd expect. I mean, I'd eliminate. Okay, me, I'd vote the shitty ball because they didn't do anything. They rejoined and then didn't do shit. But Orange Ball is who I'm expecting to get out heading into balls. Oh yeah, I forgot about this existing. So ball square root of 21, which is like a bonus episode. That's because like that's 4.5. So all right, then let's see it. Alright, so that was Ball's square root of 21. So this is a collab with Battle for Alphabet, as you're seeing there on the screen, or Fanat24, which makes a different object group called BFA, which is Battle for Alphabet, which I haven't watched. Albums is it. I have not watched it. I should probably watch it sometime. It had a recent episode as well. I'm always on the eye out. We'll get to it all, as I say famously. So I might watch it sometime, but currently I don't. It's not one of the immediate plans. So this episode, I like the direction that this episode takes. I think it's interesting how like Red Ball says bye, and then they all have a break, like they're off filming, basically. I think it's interesting. So they decide to go to town, which spends, I guess them traveling takes about 20 seconds, or well, it actually takes about 30 seconds, but it's not animated. I like how the subtitles yet again diss themselves. But like they end up getting there and they meet Cyan. No. I saw a green marker and I was about to say cyan marker. This is how much I'm pissed about that naming. Okay, we got marker, soccer ball, and Eggy, which are presumably from BFA. So they all get introduced. They all have a situation, except that the soccer ball says that they look lame, and it's like, grrr, don't insult us. So then they all try to figure out how to stop them. So they ask Cyan Ball that soccer ball said that they're nice. So Cyan Ball is pissed and goes like, ah. So they have a battle. Eventually it gets broken up by Lego Cool, which is a character that I guess exists. So yeah, that's what they do in society. They immediately cause 1 million problems, as I'd expect them to. But then, very interestingly, Orange looks down and sees that apparently Blue Ball is missing because Blue Ball was a charity owner and an ecologist. So like that is absolutely hilarious that like you just removed like the best fella in town. Like you're getting rid of it, and like what is gonna do? The town gonna like fall apart or something? Like that is such a good idea for a thing. Just like have a contestant that's secretly just like the most important fella in a town. Like I love that concept. Oh my god. That's like an extremely good concept. I really hope that they do more with this. I don't know how they do more of this because they're usually, in the void land. But I really hope that they manage something with this sometime because it would be crazy good. It would be crazy cool. But yeah. All right, not much else to say about this one. Let's head to Balls 5, the latest episode, the longest one also, I think. It's called The New Host. Let's go. Okay, I just watched Balls 5, and I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed. I can't lie. This episode wasn't very, I know. So, like, it's just it seems writingly confused. Like it seems pretty out of focus. Like it just kind of I don't think it was written very smartly. So what's going on here? We have Red Ball Speaker Box and Cool Brick Jr. So Cool Brick Jr. is probably a fella from BFA, because apparently BFA Mini, which is a thing, is being hosted by the Red Ball, so they're off and busy. So Cool Ray Jr. is here. My question: why wouldn't Cool Brick Jr. just host BFA Mini? That's like the perfect host, surely. Right? Surely that's like the perfect host. But anyways, um, yeah, so they're hosting it now. They all ask, "Where's Red Ball?" So yeah, they're doing that. They cover it up. The Acid Yellow Ball just immediately goes, "Yep, all right, sounds good." Then we get a new elimination jingle. So apparently there's a budget surplus. Why is there a budget surplus? Because of what is the reason? Because of budget, not illegal blood sacrifices. No, that's not the reason. Apparently. But it's actually not, because apparently Clayball won the lottery. So like, wait, which one is it? Did you do illegal blood sacrifices, or did Clayball win the lottery, or did both happen? Because it's like you had two ideas for the joke of how did we get extra money, and you just did both. But like, how can both be true? You either did illegal blood sacrifice, or your friend won the lot. Like, like, I guess they could both happen, but do we need both of those? Like, then you wouldn't need to do one of them. Right? If your friend won the lottery, you wouldn't need to do the illegal blood sacrifice, right? So, and if you did the illegal blood sacrifice, you wouldn't need Clayball for lottery money, right? So like, it's weird how both are both correct reasons, you know. So that seems a little bit confused. But anyway, the elimination is 2 burgers. I like the fact that they're ordering it. That's a cool detail, right? Because of course they didn't just have them ready. Correctly, I guess that Orange Ball got eliminated, which makes sense, to be honest. They weren't as interesting as the Shitty Ball, even though the Shitty Ball didn't do anything. Orange Ball didn't do anything, and they're sort of just more boring. But I think the thing that really disappoints me is the challenge, because the challenge is a race. Get to the end. What does that mean? Like, there's nothing. You're in a void. You're in a white screen. You're racing to where? Where is the end? What is the finish? What is the start? What is the obstacle? What is the anything? And it is in fact nothing. The characters don't have walking animations in the show, so you just can't do much. Apparently, I'm too slow. No, you're not even walking. Like Purple Ball and freaking Shitty Ball, you're not even walking. Like, how are you too slow? Then eventually, the other fella, they just slowly shuffle along to the next time until Pink Ball is just like, I win because you reach this spot in the white void instead of the other spot in the white void, which is apparently the finish. But like, I don't know, there's not even the idea of putting in a finish line. Like, freaking draw a finish line at least, like, or a track or something. Like, what are they running on? What are they running to? Like, it's not a challenge. Like, it's surprisingly easy to make the challenge, right? You need to freaking draw a track and draw a finish line. But when you put every character in a freaking white void, it doesn't work, right? And also, it's just a race. Like, it's just forward. Like, is there no obstacle or anything? Like, there's not even like hurdles. Like, there's just nothing. It's a bad challenge. I'm sorry, but it's not good. Then if others are up for elim, and then apparently we're now doing the BFDIA voting system, which is like equals prize and dislike equals elimination. That way we're using the YouTube videos, which yeah, that, I mean, it can work. I don't know if there's enough voters to really make that a thing consistently. Background noise, by the way. But look, if you want to do that, you can probably do that. At this rate, videos gets a decent amount of views. We'll see. I think it's fair. You can experiment it, sure, if you want to try giving prizes to people as well. But yeah, just let the prize not be pointless is my main gimmick with it when you're going to do that. But yeah, a bit disappointed here. Write a challenge that you can show properly on screen is the main thing that I always tell. So yeah. All right. So the next object show that we're going to be taking a look at is called BFPR. It released episode 1 4 days ago. It is created by Finny Dalmos, which is mainly known for creating a relatively middle of the road popularity of the show Web, which I don't think it has any relation to this, although you can never be too sure. I'm going to watch this and I'm going to see what it is that this show has in store for us. It's episode 1 is titled Christmas in November. I already got 5,000 views. Let's go. Let's watch it. Let's talk about it. Okay, I just watched BFPR 1, right? And what did I just watch? That is amazing. That is incredible, episode 1. That is one of the best episodes that I think I've seen just in general in Catchup. What is that? That is so good. That is such a good episode 1. 5,500 views. Go get that like 55. What is that? That is really good. So we get introduced to our cast. We got a beer fella, couch beer circle. Then there's Alexa, would generate some beers constantly, right? Because they're just drunk and like addicted. Then we've got this cup, like soda cup. I'm gonna call him a soda cup. So they're just sort of, I guess, insecure type character. Then there's Lock and Key, that is more assertive style. And then there's the Straw, that's, I guess, more mean. They make a fun little trio, because the interactions with each other, like, they're not, none of them are in any extreme ends of the scale. So they end up being a pretty good set of interactions. But although none of them really like each other that much, but they still talk to each other. There's the plant pot that causes mischief. There's the football that is like freaking like the football because it's an American football, like, and then it's a freaking British, average British guy. Like, yes. Then there's a guy that's just a wall, and there's a hand that pokes out of it. That's just a cool, interesting design. They don't speak as far as I'm aware. So that's interesting. There's so many jokes in this freaking show, dude. There's so many jokes. The freaking leaderboard. There's a mouse moving as well. Like, there's so many jokes. Then eventually Santa comes in. Somebody apparently ordered a pet rock. So Santa comes in and drops it off. Oh, there's July. Which means that, you know, Santa disintegrates. And then this tin can comes by and decides that, well, you know, this rock's just chilling here. Do you want it? So they end up battling for the pet rock. And then the intro comes in. Now, this is what I'm going to say. There is this one thing that this show excels at doing. This show is awkwardly funny because the jokes are so much based on timing, right? On timing of the interactions in the way that some characters respond immediately and some respond in a bit, right? This is an audio 10 out of 10. This show, audio-wise, is one of the smartest shows I have seen. It is so good at getting these interactions to feel awkwardly real, but then having the humor extrapolate from it more, because the punchline just hits harder when it feels authentic, and here it feels superbly authentic. Like, it is just something special. It is so... like, just the way that the tin can speaks in this sort of ultra monotone, relaxed way. The V8s are good, even though there's like 2 of them or whatever. It's still solid. Also, there's the meteor fella who is... they're the clumsy fella, basically. They're just always like a fiery meteor who just screws everything up despite how hard they try. So then the first challenge ends up being to decorate the pet rock. So they decide to decorate the pet rock, but first they gotta name their team. The first team is the whole squad. Like, you see, that's the best example. Is the whole squad interaction. Right? They name their team and then they immediately go like, hey, is that squad mate? And then like they're responding quickly, and then they go check. There's like this 5-10 seconds, and then they read it out, and then boom. Like, that just sounds like a real trio of people speaking. Like, it's just on, like, it's just how it works. It just works. They just did it really, 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 really well. I'm kind of impressed at how good these interactions feel. You know, like, they just feel super authentic, and it increases every joke in it. Considering there's so many gags in this show, it's really good. That is crazy. Like, it is unbelievable. Then the mustache manglers, yeah, the meteor even screws up the team name. Then eventually the team name ends up being Alexa, pass me a beer, because yeah, that's the team. Alexa just generates his bro beers. I like how the joke at the end is that Alexa simply replies with no. Like, Alexa can do that. That's true. Alexa could just not pass him a beer, but Alexa chooses to continue passing him a beer. I wonder if there's ever gonna be something like that. But yeah. So what did they decide to do? They give sunglasses. The first team, the team of the trio, the whole squad, gives them sunglasses because why not? Um, Then the other team tries to choose something. Well, they want to give googly eyes to the fella after getting a fashion book from the hand fella from the other universe, right? However, they're divided between googly eyes and googly ties, right? So football just cannot read it for the life of them. Yet again, another great little joke as Meteor slowly stops speaking because it keeps repeating. Then Alexa generates the decoration of a little soda hat for the pet rock. That makes sense. Alexa's pretty OP in challenges like this because Alexa can just generate a decoration. However, the thing about Alexa is that Alexa usually won't generate anything of their own volition. Like Alexa needs to be requested, which means that Alexa is an extremely powerful tool of a character. However, Alexa needs to get utilized, right? So like if you have a good idea for a challenge, Alexa will make it happen in the best way. However, you need to have a good idea for a challenge. So you can't have Alexa solo, but you can have Alexa duo extremely well, which I think makes a very interesting challenge dynamic, right? This challenge is ultra simple, but in a more complicated challenge where it's like build I don't know, like imagine it's build a fortress to protect a pet rock, right? And then the angry birds are coming, right? Then it's like you can ask Alexa to build a fortress, but you have to specify, right? Which means that it creates this interesting thing because like Alexa can't just make a top tier fortress, but you can ask Alexa to make a style of fortress, and then Alexa will do it. So you just need to have the right idea in your mind, and Alexa's going to be good. So as far as challenge utilization, I'm very interested in how Alexa's going to do in other challenges. Eventually, yeah, another like the freaking joke of the spider saying "boo" and then the soda falls, and the boo's in freaking whatever Arial font. It's like it's whimsy, it's fun, it's awkward, it's authentic, it's well animated, it's just got good audio design, good voice acting, it's got good writing, it's got good. It is truly a show that is excelling in like every aspect, I think. Like genuinely. This excels in nearly every aspect. Can't even lie. Every joke, even visual gags, like the bench having a name, conveniently placed bench, or the lock turning into a clock. Like it's so smart. It's so smart. I don't know. But eventually they decide. Yeah, the tin can is just a guy. Like, so they can't regen people. Alexa can, so that's fun. Until Alexa gets eliminated. So don't eliminate Alexa. Yet again, I do find it interesting. Also with Alexa, I find Alexa very interesting. Having a recovery center contestant is always a little bit of an interesting dynamic that is bound to form. Like you can do so many interesting things with a recovery center contestant because recovery center contestant getting eliminated means that you're screwed, right? Because you don't have a recovery center, right? Which means that it's gonna be a little bit complicated for that to happen. Because yeah, so you need Alexa to stick around for the work keep going, and it creates interesting things, and it is just interesting dynamics, like I know, like for example in Teapot, Black Hole currently getting eliminated would be a disaster, like a literal disaster, because you just like the world would just crumble. Like currently T Brother was pretty crumbled already, but like it would crumble even harsher because Black Hole was at least surviving it, but with quieting it down, but it just absolutely wouldn't work without him there, right? So it's the same type of situation. Like if Alexa gets eliminated, people die. Although, I mean, okay, I think it wouldn't be too bad in this show because we've got a host with no authority. Because in this show we've got a host. However, this is not a host that is a host for any specific reason. Like this tin can is just a host because they said, "Yo, should you guys wanna do a thing?" Right? So then they do the thing, right? But like in general, they just kind of are a regular guy like the other fellas. In fact, the tin can's actively weaker than probably like half the cast because some cast has got stuff going on, like Alexa or the wall fellow. I think they're called that one or something. So like they're actively weaker than a lot of the contestants. So I don't think that like a character gets eliminated, they're gonna be dead. Right? Like Tin Can can't do anything about that. They can just go like, "Hey, could you go to the elimination, please?" And then like the contestants seem to be listening, to be fair. Like there's no rebellion going on. So in general, like they're actively helping out, Alexa helping out, forming the teams and stuff, right? So I don't think there's rebellion so far. Maybe when a character gets eliminated, they'll rebel. Like, no, I don't want to be eliminated. Fake me, And then Alexa probably just teleports them. But like, see, this is what I mean. Alexa's the best. Alexa's just good. And also just like the idea of like just a simple detail, right, of having the pet rock be like the co-host, and like the pet rock never even like goes against the concept of them being the prize. Like there's they don't mention it at all. But but like the fact that the Tin Can just asks the pet rock, like, "Hey, can you join? Like, can you form the team or whatever?" Right? Like, "Hey, 2 teams of 4, right?" And then it's like you're just asking the pet. You're just talking to the prize. Like that is so funny. And then the pet raw just reviewing everything a 10 out of 10, despite how they don't like any of it. Which the team with the sunglasses and party hat ends up. Oh, so Tin Can just hates everything as well. They give a 5 out of 10 to the Rock with freaking with every decoration on it. The empty rock they give a 2 out of 10, and then the rock that is broken because it had the spider on it gets a 1 out of 10 out of the Tin Can. Well, the freaking just 10 out of 10 everywhere from the pet rock. So it's like it's voting that makes no. I mean, okay, it makes sense, but it doesn't. It makes sense in the way that it doesn't make sense, you know. Yeah, and eventually the spider just dies because the football is a better idea. Then Meteor, that one in football, also like the voting screens. I don't know who would get eliminated here. It could be football because football is a little mean. Like they're slightly mean as a character, but that one didn't do that much, Like even though they were useful, like at least they gave the book to the idea. That's the only thing they did in the episode. And this type of character that doesn't walk, doesn't speak, is only really going to be like only ever gets into the episode when prompted. It's kind of like Alexa, but Alexa, like the team knows about them. That one, they're not really, Meteor and football don't take advantage of them at all. So I'd maybe expect them to get eliminated, but there are 2 valid options. I wouldn't see Meteor getting eliminated because Meteor would get the pity. But it's absolutely just. It's so good. This show is amazing. The team logos, I don't know why the team logos remind me so much of Jackbox. Like, just the way that Jackbox, like, do you know the Jackbox Games logos? Like, the way that Jackbox Games creates the logos for their individual games, right? Like, I don't know why, just give me the vibes of these teams. Like, the way that these teams are, like because in the Jackbox style of, like, game name there's a lot of like different fonts. There's a lot of text transforming, like stretching it out inwards around shapes and stuff. So like stuff like for the episodes like the whole squad or the mustache manglers or whatever the other team is called. Now the other team that passed me a beer doesn't really feel like it, but those 2 definitely do it. in the way that the text is like shaped around it and in a different font every time. Like it's, I don't know, it just reminds me of that. But yeah, I mean, absolutely, I cannot sing the praises to the show enough for being created by two people. Two. It is unbelievable. Genuinely. These two people locked in. Like, go watch this right now, please. What? This show is this show's amazing. This thing is incredible. I don't like, it's so good at its humor. Like, it achieves its humor so unbelievably well. Like, I don't yeah, I don't know. I was just shook when watching it, because like this is unbelievable. But all right then. That's all I've got to say for it. Next. All right, and just to close off what is very likely to be an Omega episode, we're going to be watching 3 episode 1s from different people. Starting off with Hat Time 1, created by Tales of Odilon, YouTuber with 447 subscribers. This episode 1 released on November 2nd. It is titled Hat Time. Yeah, it was titled Hat Time. I already said that. No, it's titled Dusty Duel. Sorry, the episode's titled Dusty Duel of Hat Time 1. So let's go. Let's watch it. Let's give our opinions. I just watched Hat Time 1 Dusty Duel, and my life has changed because I watched this video. What just happened? I'm sorry, that was so chaos. Okay, so we have Cone. No, we have a cat, which is like a Kit Kat. No, I don't know what you are, but you're like you look like a freaking candy thing. All right, sure. Then we have Cone, which is a cap, or like a cone. Like, isn't a cone like the traffic cone? Like, what do you mean cone? This is not a cone. I don't know. And then we have great question. What are they called? They're called. Then there's Odilon, which is they look like a bag, pretty much. And then I don't. What happens? Okay, so Cone decides to open the BFDI mystery box Labubu 32 karat gold. I wish I was joking, but I'm not joking. And then X Plush arrives, which decides to host an object show, forcing everybody else. So then they decide to make the challenge to impress this cat called Ceci. I don't know if this is like their actual cat. But either way, they have to impress Ceci. You have to bet a duel for their approval. So then they start dueling for their. Actually, no, they don't start dueling because Odilon starts saying that it doesn't make sense. To be fair to Odilon, they're picking up on the bullshit of the show, which is a lot of it. Because I don't know what happened. Like, they do notice how I glossed over every single event that happened in that initial minute? Because I don't know what happened in that initial minute. Like, hello, ladies, and welcome to blah blah. Then somebody says then Cone says something, gets immediately cut off before I could even hear what it is. Odilon gets mad that you can't say it. Cat's real name is not Cat. It's apparently like Cars, the movie. Then you open a BDI Labubu. Then there's a plush and not a Labubu. And then there's a force everybody to join the object show for no prize. Just it is. But then the thing that doesn't make sense is that 3 people can't battle for an approval. This is not a bracket style. Yes, 3 people can like duel to the death. You know, like it's 3-way battles exist. You don't need to freaking do a bracket style every time. But Cat tries to convince them, and then they have, for some reason, every character has a gun. Why does every character have a gun all the time? But I don't know. Odilon just shoots the X plush. Everybody's really surprised by that. But, you know, Cone gets pretty inspired by that and freaking shoots Cat. So that's interesting. So then those 2 are the ones remaining. But then for some reason, Ceci's approval goes to, what? It goes to Odilon. Why? I don't know. They both did the same thing, which was shoot a person. So Odilon wins for some reason. Okay. I think it's because maybe it says he was having a conversation with Kat when they got shot. So maybe that's the reason they're like, oh, I'm gonna give my my prize to Odilon instead. Okay, so then Code and Kat are up for elimination. Vote to save 48 hours. I mean it should be closed by now, right? Yeah, it's been 3 days. I don't know who got saved. I expect Cone to get out because Cat at the very least didn't shoot someone. But it's so I don't know, dude. I genuinely this is pretty. It's just that like it's not that the plot line of this show doesn't work. It's just that it gives off too many vibes at the same time, you know? Like this sounds like a joke show and at the same time it has story. Like it just needs to make sense. You know, like I think every event, like I sort of, now that I'm talking about it, I am becoming capable of reconstructing a series of events that happens in this episode. It's just that they don't happen clearly during the episode because there's kind of fogged up behind a layer of randomness, right? Like Labubu, a layer of 32 karat gold Labubu, right? So like I don't know. It's sort of weird. I'm presuming it's a joke show. I guess it won't say 32 karat Labubu BFDI mystery box, but yeah, it is. It is just kind of hard to understand. I hope that they make it more clear. Maybe slow down the pacing. Slow down the music. No, no, don't slow down the music. Try lower the music volume a little bit because it is at the same level as the voice, which can be fine sometimes, but especially when the character's speaking at a high pitch, which is harder to understand, or is just mumbling a little bit, it becomes quite hard to understand, and YouTube doesn't even catch up half the words. So I'd recommend lowering the music also by a couple of decibels. But other than that, I mean, animation wise, it's fine to be honest. And yeah, keep it up, I guess. The next obvious show we're going to be taking a look at is called Show, which I think had its first episode released a couple of days ago. It's called The End of a Start. I think it's the start. I don't know because this fella OPM, is a YouTuber with 107 subscribers, OrangeProfileMan, has created a couple of things in the past. Primarily, I think a show called STAA, but they seem unrelated as far as I'm aware. The only reason I'm confused is because it doesn't have an episode number. But let's watch it and see if I am missing out on any context or if I just can watch it. Let's find out. Show, The End of a Start. Let's go. Okay, so I just watched Show, which might be the only episode. Maybe that's why it's just called Show. But so we have this white void where we have Banana and we have Sunglasses, which they're just buddies, you know. They're just complaining. There's nothing to do in this white void of doom. Right, so then the mystery loser-looking shape fella who's glitching out all the time. Like, yo, they want to compete in an obvious show, and they go like, sure. So then we get introduced to our intro, which is called Your Show. So the fella comes up with a challenge is to pick up the apple that just happens to be there. Now, immediately, voice acting is pretty good, but the voice quality is very fluctuating. In that initial scene, it's honestly really bad. Like it feels like it's been bass boosted to like 10 decibels above where it should, you know? Like it's like this way too much. It's like if I boosted this audio to 30 decibels, like you would hear everything. Not because you would hear everything, you would just hear everything distorted, right? Which it doesn't sound good. It sounds distorted and loud, right? So it's just not what you want. But then eventually it sort of chills it out a little bit. Well, I don't mind the host sounding like that because this host is this sort of weird, crazy, glitching out entity, and so they sound fine with that. It's just the regular people shouldn't sound like that, right? But eventually there goes to get the banana. No, there goes to get the apple. But the banana runs by at lightning speeds to try to get it. Then, however, Sunglasses got ultra long tongue Yoshi style and proceeds to pick it up, which means that the host awards them. I gotta say, this host is cool. The way that they glitch out is very, very nice looking. I can't even lie. Like it's proper glitch as well, and they twist into like different shapes and black and white and text and different characters. Sometimes it's very nice. I can't lie. Then they get a gold star. So good job, sunglasses. But now theoretically, the show's over, right? Theoretically. However, no, what happens is that actually the host fella proceeds to disintegrate and become the universe. So then I have no idea what happens. Because yeah, then the show ends right there. It's a cliffhanger. It's a massive little cliffhanger. Everybody is shook. The sunglasses are shook. The banana shook and screaming. And the world is just a squiggly gray mess. What is going to happen? I don't know. I do like the name The End of a Start, though, because it does, like... What is it? Hold on. Is that name... Do I like that name? Hold on. What is that? What does that mean? The end of a start. So that would be like the start ends. And then we move on to the next part, like the middle. Right? Which makes sense, because if the start was the start of the object show, then the start of the object show has ended. So we're at the end of a start. But then what's going to happen? So because we're not at the end, because that name implies that there's more, right? Because if we're at the end of a start, that means that there's more than just the start. Like you can't start at the like the end of the start implies that it's not the end in general, right? That there's more after the start. So especially the cliffhanger would suggest that there's also more to it. I don't know if it's going to be in the same show tagline, SHOW, because technically the show would be over, right? Surely, because but now lost, unless they're getting awarded like stars for different challenges. But I don't know. I don't think the host is necessarily too alive. They currently just engulfed them in their little fog world. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out later. But as you can tell, I'm relatively interested. So if you're working on it, absolutely good luck on that. And yeah, I guess I'll check out more when the time is when the time is due. Next. And then the final object show episode that we're going to be looking at today is going to be which had its episode 0. So yeah, that's fun, isn't it? We're starting off with an episode 0 and we're closing it out in an episode 0, which is pretty cool. Created by ohighnickk, a YouTuber with 777 subscribers. At this point, I'm scared to subscribe. It's going to ruin the perfection of the number. But yeah, this pilot has already garnered itself 1,000 views in a couple of days. Let's see what it's all about. The pilot. Let's go. Okay, so I've just watched the 0. That's gonna be a little bit of a name for sure, because there's a lot of words they use the. I must say that having the in the name of the episode, it's something. Anyways, so we first start off here with an IRL shot of somebody opening Google Docs, and then we have a zoom in and we enter the white void where Cookie appears. Presumably that's the name of the I didn't check the end credit, but presumably you are a cookie. So then that is the protagonist, presumably, right? Okay, so immediate ideas, obviously media theory. Are they in Google Docs? Are they in a Google document? That's no way, right? But also, is there a way? But also no way. But also wait. I mean, I haven't, other than that initial shot of them zooming into a Google Docs and then we appear in the white void, I wouldn't necessarily have any other proof that would let me think that this is Google Docs land. So I'm gonna for now say it's no. So then Cookie comes in, spawns into the world. It's like where the first starts confused, and then they, I guess, realize where they are, or they just go never mind, and then they just go take a lovely little stroll. La la la. Okay, and then we have some one-off interactions with a bunch of the other members of the cast, such as Frizz, B, Q, which are just circles with their respective letter on it, which is interesting. there is, I must say, there is, I believe, a little bit of a lack of sound effects in this. Like, I can't lie. Like, for example, in this scene where Frizz threw B away, like when B was being the whole annoying, like rubbing their hand or whatever, that didn't have a sound effect. Then the grab didn't have a sound effect, especially the throw didn't have a sound effect, which just feels weird because like surely there'd be like a wind, like a swoosh, like maybe not with that power, but like a swoosh, and that type of sound. So sometimes I feel like there might be a little bit of a lack of sound design in this episode. Well, there's not that there's no sound effects in general. I think there are of like walking sometimes. That's like Minecraft walking sounds, and I think of sitting down as well. In the later scene, we have some other fellas such as Pawn, Carrot, and the chocolate ice cream. So they're just talking a little bit. Apparently, there's a mountain that you can climb. That's 2,763 number. BFDI number. It's pretty far away. Apparently, they exist. So it's not all a whiteboard. Maybe you never know. Hey, look, all I'm saying is that maybe in this Google Docs, like in 27 pages, somebody wrote the word mountain in there. Maybe that's what's going on. No. I'm quitting. I'm quitting the Google Docs theory. I don't think it's lining up, boys. I don't think it's working. Um, but yeah, they're just having their own conversation. Then for some reason, this like Bolt fella is shining a magnifying glass on a piece of wood. So they have, I guess, an altercation. Then Fork and what are you? You're like a donut. Have this mushroom, which sits down, and that's it. That is the end of what they wanted to show. They want to show them sitting down. It's pretty cool. I must say, again, it's just because I watched Animatic Battle the other day, so now I have this new lore of the character. I'm just saying, purple mushroom character that speaks sort of slow and is sort of enigmatic and people don't know what they're doing or why. I'm sensing a similarity. I'm just saying. But no, it's not that different. But anyways, yeah, they end up having a battle. That's a pretty fun scene, animationally speaking, how like it blurs itself out, and then we have the walk away. Then suddenly, Cookie is just walking around, content with life. They sit down in a random spot, and then seed drops down from something. I don't know from where, but Cookie either sees them or sees something, and then gets very nervous. So now we have a little bit of course, the question: what the hell happened? What's going on around here? I don't know. To be honest, quite frankly, I've got no idea. Because, like, what could it be? Cookie either saw them and got worried, like maybe they're not friends, maybe they're enemies, maybe something happened, there's some backstory there. That would be the immediate idea. There is the immediate idea that Cookie, where are you? Do you know where you are? Like, that's kind of the thing, because it's like you drop in from nowhere, you just pop into existence, and then you start questioning your reality. Certainly you unquestion it, but then you sit down and then you see somebody else pop into reality, and now you're confused. So like there is the possibility that the person who popped in is why they're upset, why they're nervous, or maybe it could be the popping in itself that is the concern, right? Because then it's like Cookie sort of pops into existence, and it's like, well, I guess that just happened. But when they see somebody else pop into existence, maybe it's like, okay, what's going on around here, right? There could be a little bit of a mystery, to crack, to solve, to figure out, we could be getting some pieces here. Starts being like, okay, so mysteriously random people appear, then they lose their memory about where they are, and then there's a little bit, and then they just chill in this white void with nothing in there, no society, no houses, no nothing. Something's up, right? There's a story that you can make here, absolutely. Like, I just invented that in 3 seconds, and I'm sure that it's just the concept of like a game. I think I think there's a game that does that. But either way, it's like there is something here. Absolutely, there's like the baseline of something interesting. But this episode 0, there's not too much to say about an episode 0. Says me, who just spent 40 minutes talking about an episode 0 at the start of this video. Hypocrite, I know. But there's not too much to say. It's a pilot. It gives an interesting crumb, but it's a really small crumb. I can imagine what a plotline of the show might be, but in general, I don't know what it is. Right? Like I just don't know what it is. Like, it doesn't give me enough for me to have a direction. It just gives like a. It's like when you stop at an intersection, but then you don't know where the show's going, right? Like, there's a lot of ways out of the intersection, but yeah, but at least it got us to an intersection, which is pretty cool. But I think that's all I can really say about it. Like, it's interesting, but absolutely it just needs more. It needs the episode 1 to exist here to give us a little bit of clarity on anything, because so far we've just got a few characters that have an interaction. Cookie, who knows where they are and then doesn't know where they are and then knows where they are and then doesn't know, and then a different character who pops in and does nothing. So yeah, and then real life Google Docs land. Stop, that's not real. Yeah, yeah, that's all really. I guess I'll check out episode 1 when it releases, because I got to see what's up with this fella. And there we have it. That was the 21st episode of Object Catchup, another Omega episode. This one honestly was not meant to be an Omega episode. I'm just absolutely saying it out loud here. However, I got massively sidetracked by the Lost segment. That was the thing, right? Like, I was just sort of, I just lost, because I was expecting that segment to take like 10 minutes. It took like an hour. It absolutely threw me off completely. So then I still had to talk about some other shows, because I gotta freaking catch up to them eventually. So I've just decided, all right then, Omega episode, 2 hours, whatever. I'll take it. I'll take the hit. But it was worth it, because we got to talk about some cool shows, some good stuff. And yeah, do we have any plans? No, currently I don't think any big all shows due to release like ultra soon. So currently we have a little bit of a spell to sort of get back, catch up a little bit with what we've fallen very behind. I'm just kind of worried about those shows that have multiple seasons. I just don't know what to do with them, because it's like there's some episodes where it's like you gotta watch 30 videos, and like I could give them a special, but again, when I give them a special, that means no other show can have anything that day, and then more shows throw themselves into the pile, and then it just becomes complicated. So I'm currently shoving those to the side, because it's just complicated. Like, I don't know what to do with those, but I'll get to them eventually. They're on the list. Like, when they're on the list, they will eventually leave my list. Like, they're gonna leave my list at some point. I don't know when, I don't know how, but they will do it. They're not just gonna stay there forever. I absolutely promise. So yeah, that's all I can really say here for today, for these shows right here that we've discussed today. We're all cut up. See you next time.